Yeah. So, although Krishna's lotus feet are meditated upon by great yogis, and even they rarely get a glimpse of Krishna's lotus feet, Putana is getting embrace of Krishna. Angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavan abhitastanam. So, Krishna is so merciful that Krishna gave the position of a motherly nurse to Putana in the spiritual world just because she had the attire of a mother. She is doing the activities of a mother, although she did not have the attitude of a mother. Krishna is generally bhavagrahi. He sees the emotions more than the externals. But Krishna in Vrindavan is so desperate to offer mercy, to show his karuna, that he ignored the bhava and focused on the external activity to show some mercy on Putana, right? So Krishna is more eager to shower mercy upon us than we are eager to receive that mercy. And especially in Vrindavan, Krishna is more merciful. Therefore, he is Karuna Samudra. Maya Apara Karunya. Saushilya. Krishna is an ocean of good character. Wonderful character. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela ramastambhini viryam kandukitadri varyam amalat pare parardham gunaha Sheelam sarvajananuranjanamaho yasyayamasmat prabhar Vishvam vishvajanina kirtiravatat Krishno jagan mohana. Sheelam sarvajana anuranjanamaho. Krishna's Sheelam, Krishna's character is so exemplary that it can impress everybody. Sarvajana anuranjanamaho yasyayamasmat prabhar. Our Prabhu is so attractive. His character is so attractive. He is an ocean of Saushilya, good character. He goes to Dwaraka. He meets the 17 co-wives of his mother Devaki and he offers respects to all these 18 ladies, respecting them as their mothers. That is his exemplary character. When Narada Muni or Rukmini Devi's messenger or anybody who comes to Dwaraka, Krishna washes their feet. He is a Kshatriya, he is the Supreme Lord. But in an exemplary way, exhibiting his Saushilyata, he washes the feet of these Brahmana guests or anybody who comes. That is Krishna's good character. There are unlimited examples. These are samudra, right? Each of these qualities, Karunya, Saushilya, they are all big samudras, big oceans. So, just half an hour is not sufficient to immerse our minds. Whole life is not sufficient to immerse ourselves or drown ourselves even when in one particle of a drop of each of these oceans of Krishna's qualities. Mai apara karunya saushilya saundarya. What to be said of Krishna's saundarya? Srimad Bhagavatam says about Krishna's saundarya. Many shlokas, but one is Gopyaha tapaha kivacharan yadamushya rupam lavanya sarama samordhamananya siddham drigbhihi pibantyanu savabhinavam durapam ekanta dhama yashashaha shriya aishwarasya. So Krishna is lavanya saram. He is the essence of all loveliness. The more you drink the nectar of Krishna's beauty through your eyes, the more you feel like drinking more and more. Krishna's beauty never exhausts anybody, never bores anybody, never tires anybody, right? Even if somebody stands in front of Radha Madan Mohan, he's Madan Mohan. Kandarpa darpa hara sundara divyamurti. His beauty can defeat the beauty of millions of cupids put together. So there is no exhaustion, there is no boredom, there is no tiredness in watching Krishna's beauty. He is Saundarya Samudra. And he is Madhurya Samudra. He is an ocean of sweetness. Whether it is Damodar Leela or teasing Rukmini Devi in Dwaraka or stealing butter in Vrindavan or shaving Rukmi's head, partially shaving. So Krishna's activities are very sweet and naughty and very attractive. Manohara, right? Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram. Everything is madhuram about this Madhuradhipati. He is not only Mathuradhipati, he is Madhuradhipati also. Mathuradhipati is the Lord of Mathura city. Madhuradhipati means the Lord of all sweetness. He is Madhupati. 10th canto, 21st chapter says. So, Karunya, Saushilya, Saundarya, Madhurya, Gambhirya. We already discussed Gambhirya in Krishna's reciprocations with, who is that? Indra and Brahma. Then, benevolence, Audarya Samudra. Krishna is an ocean of Audarya, benevolence, especially in his form as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna is extremely benevolent. Chirada dattam nijagupta vittam swaprema namamritamatyudaraham apamaramyo vitatara gauraha krishno janebhyastamaham prapadye. Chirad adattam nijagupta vittam. Krishna thought, I have not bestowed this special gift of Raja Bhakti to the people of this earthly planet for a long time. Adattam. Nijagupta vittam, this very secret treasure which is there within me. Swaprema nama amritamatyudaraha. I will bestow this premamrita through namamrita. Through nama you can get prema. The potency of Krishna nama is that it can overwhelm us with Krishna prema. Vishnor namaiva pumsam shamalamapaharat punyamutpadayacham brahmadisthana bhogat viratimatha guroh shripadadvandva bhaktim tatvagnanam cha vishnor ihamriti janana bhranti bijam cha dagdva sampurnananda bodhe prabhavatu bhavato bhutaye Krishna nama. Now, the holy name of Krishna can increase our attraction or commitment or obedience to Guru. Right? So when we chant the holy names of the Lord, it can increase our obedience to Guru or our being rooted in Guru's instructions. Right? Vishnor namaiva pumsam shamalamapaharat punyamutpadayaccha. It will holy name of Krishna can completely remove the contamination in the heart and gives us great spiritual piety. Then Brahmadisthana bhogat virati matha guroh shripadadvandva bhaktim. Brahmadisthana bhogat. The bhoga, the enjoyment that is available in Brahma's position also is insignificant for someone who is chanting the holy names of Krishna. One who chants the holy name of Krishna can completely disregard any bhoga or any aishwarya, even including Brahma's position also. Nanaka prishtham nachaparamishtham nasarvabhumam narasadhipatyam. Right? Virati matha guroh shripadadvandva bhaktim. Guroh shripadadvandva bhaktim. So one's bhakti, one's devotion towards the lotus feet of Sri Guru is increased by chanting the names of Krishna. Tatvagnanam cha vishnor ihamriti janana bhranti bijam cha dagdva. Tattvagnanam. We will be able to understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness also when we chant the holy names of the Lord. Our understanding of scriptures is not just a product of studying the scripture itself. Just Swadhyaya is not the only source of scriptural understanding. We need sadachar. We need seva. And we need chanting, sadhana. Chanting the holy names of Krishna will enhance our scriptural understanding. When we are behaving very nicely, respecting other devotees nicely, their blessings will help us understand the scriptures nicely. When we are serving the devotees nicely, we will be able to realize the scriptural messages better. So, Tatvagnanam cha Vishnu, even Tatvagnana of Lord Vishnu also can be understood by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended on this planet and distributed this holy name and enabled us to access that Krishna prema. And it is Krishna who appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mode of a devotee. Therefore, Krishna is Audarya Samudra. Then finally, the seventh Samudra, the seventh ocean of Krishna is Vatsalya Samudra. He has unlimited affection for his devotees. Bhakta Vatsalyata. How affectionate he is towards his Pandavas. Sarathya Parishada Sevana Sakhya Dautya Virasananu Stavana Pranaman. How affectionate is he towards Uttara. The first canto, 8th, 9th chapters, all these chapters are describing Krishna's affectionate dealings towards his devotees, the Pandavas, Uttara, and all other devotees. So, when we are entrapped by these 7 material oceans, there are 6 anarthas that overwhelm us. When we are imprisoned in the middle of this these 7 oceans, many people don't even realize that we are entrapped. I'm arrested. I'm arrested in this Brahmanda, which has thick layers. Escaping is very difficult. Oceans are there. Mountain ranges are there. Very difficult, right? So these are gross aspects of the prison cell, right? So Maya manifests this Brahmandas, this material universes, and traps us and imprisons us through these gross walls and gross oceans and gross planets. But subtly also Maya traps us from within. Right? From within, Maya traps us in the form of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madamatsarya, envy, pride, greed, intense lust. All these are internally bothering us. Externally, a lot of botheration, tapatrayas and all. Internally also there's so much of botheration. And one may think, when I wear saffron, my lust will go away. Or when I fast, my sense gratificatory desires will go away. Or when I go for some pilgrimage, my sinful activities will go away. Not necessary. It's not necessary. The scriptures say, Kashaya annacha bhojanadi niyaman novavane vasato vyakhyanadathava munivrata bhara chittodbhavakshiyate kintu sphita kalinda shailatanaya tirecha vikridato Govindasya padaravinda bhajanarambhasya leshadapi. Kashayannacha. One may think, when I wear kashaya, this saffron cloth, material desires will disappear, lust will go away. Not necessary. Right? Kasha doesn't ensure insulation from lust. Kashayannacha. Bhojanadiniyaman. I will reduce my food intake. I will eat only non-spicy khichdi every day. That does not mean material desires will go away. Kashayannacha bhojanadiniyaman. Rules and regulations of eating may not necessarily control our material desires. Kashayannacha bhojanadiniyaman novavane vasato. Maybe I'll go to Vanvas. I will go to some secluded forest. Way away, far away from the city ambience and all the billboards and smartphones and YouTubes, and I will be away from distractions. I will sit in a solitary cave, in a mountain, in a forest with no access to human beings. Will material desires go away? Not necessary. Kashayannacha bhojanadi niyaman novavane vasato Vyakhyanadathava. Vyakhyana means one may be studying so many commentaries, vyakhyanas, right? Scholarly, Sanskrit analysis. They are doing grammatical analysis, linguistic analysis, poetic analysis, historical analysis, which AD, which BC, which Manvantara, which Yuga. So much of analysis they are doing. Will that analytical, detailed study of commentaries destroy the lust? Destroy material desires? Not necessary. Vyakhyanadathava munivrata bharat. Munivrata. I'll do Maunavrata. So no more speaking. No more interactions with anyone. I'll be very, very silent. Will that destroy material desires or lust? Not necessary. Munivrata bharat chittodbhavakshiyate. This mind is so distracted. The mind has been associating with material world, material modes since time immemorial. So one can never underestimate the potency of material mind to distract us and deviate us. Distractions may be intermittent, but if the distractions are not controlled, they will become deviation. Distraction means you are sitting in the class, you are just looking here and there. Deviation means you are not sitting in the class only. You are out. Right? So, as we are doing sadhana bhakti, some distractions here and there will come because we are not fully pure. But if you don't regulate those distractions in the company of devotees, the distraction will become a deviation. Right? And however much we deviate, we are entrapped in the 7 oceans only. Right? So, this material world is such a complicated network that there are many, many deeper realms on this material world where people can be more degraded into this tamogun, andhakar, right? Material realm presents many, many facilities, Patal Loka and in lower planets. Even in the earthly planet, there are many different areas where Maya can entrap us more, thinking that we are enjoying, right? So, but all these external activities will not protect us from this material desires or distractions or deviations. Kashaya cha bhojanadi niyamanno vavane vasato vyakhyanadathava munivrata bharat chittodbhavakshiyate. Then what is the solution? Kintu spitakalinda shailatanaya tire cha vikridato govindasya padaravinda bhajanarambhasya leshadapi. If we can manage to even slightly begin the bhajan of Lord Govinda's lotus feet, the lotus feet of Lord Govinda who wanders on the Kalinda Shaila, wanders on the shore of Yamuna. If we can manage to begin the devotional service of the lotus feet of Govinda, then it will go away. Then all these things will go away. So sincere commitment to the practice of bhakti, honest surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. You may not become pure surrendered souls overnight, but that sincere desire, sincere intention, honest commitment to the process of bhakti is the beginning of eradication of material desires and beginning of this great journey of cultivating love of Godhead. So we need to immerse our minds in the seven oceans of Krishna, and we need to save ourselves from these distractions and trap of Maya and sincerely take shelter of Krishna. Then we can escape from the seven oceans, escape from this land surrounded with these seven oceans. So Krishna is an ocean of seven. Krishna is a combination of seven oceans, seven divine spiritual oceans. Similarly, Radharani also is also compared to seven oceans. Vaidagdhya sindhur anuraga rasaika sindhur vatsalya sindhurati sandra kripaika sindhur lavanya sindhur amritachavi rupa sindhur Shri Radhika sphuratu me hridikeli sindhu. So just as Krishna is compared to seven oceans, Radharani is also compared to seven oceans. One, Vaidagdhya Sindhu. Krishna is called Jaladhi, Radha is Sindhu. So both are oceans only. Vaidagdhya Sindhu, Srimati Radharani is an ocean of all good virtues. Anuraga Rasaika Sindhu, she is an ocean of love for Krishna. Right? Complete Anuraga for Krishna, attachment to Krishna. Vaidagdhya Sindhur Anuraga Rasaika Sindhur Vatsalya Sindhur. She is also an ocean of affection. Krishna is also Vatsalya Jaladhi, Radharani is also Vatsalya Sindhu. Vatsalya Sindhur Amrita Chavi Rupa Sindhu. Amrita Chavi Rupa Sindhu, she is an ocean of nectarian beauty. Vatsalya Sindhur Amrita Chavi Rupa Sindhu. Lavanya Sindhur. Lavanya Sindhu means again Krishna, Srimati Radharani is an ocean of unparalleled beauty, unparalleled loveliness. Lavanya Sindhur. Ati Sandra Kripaika Sindhur. Kripa means compassion. Sandra Kripa means condensed compassion. Ati Sandra Kripa means extremely condensed compassion. Ati Sandra Kripaika Sindhu means an ocean of extremely condensed compassion is Srimati Radharani. Ati Sandra Kripaika Sindhu. Then Shri Radhika Sphuratu me hridikeli Sindhu. Hridikeli Sindhu means she is also an ocean of wonderful pastimes. Of course, one requires some qualification even to discuss those pastimes, but at least as devotees, we are supposed to be under the shelter of Srimati Radharani. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti mashritaha. We are supposed to take shelter of Daivi Prakriti Srimati Radharani. So this is some information about Radharani's qualities. And when we immerse our minds in the seven oceans of Krishna and seven oceans of Radharani, and we can escape from these seven material oceans. So with this, I'll conclude. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, comments? Do you want to? Mike. I'll take questions when if you add something, some corrections.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a very wonderful class. This is question sometime before I had, even now also, that you told about Krishna's wonderful character, Saushilyata, by so many examples about Putana and how he treats all the mothers, and he is inviting, washing the feet of all the Brahmanas who is coming to Dwarka. And we hear about somewhat like he went as a peace messenger to, towards Kurukshetra and as a driving chariot of Arjuna. But what happens generally, Prabhuji, we whenever we want to present Krishna as a person who is of wonderful character, people appreciate more the teachings of Bhagavad Gita than, whenever it is very easy to appreciate Lord Ram, this Saushilyata, it very immediately touching. But whenever it becomes difficult to present Krishna with the Saushilyata, so is it because Krishna is Prema Purushottama or Lord Ram is Maryada Purushottama, it is easy to appreciate for how we can develop more appreciation for Krishna?
Somehow people are not fully aware of the scriptures, and also especially in this area the movie influence is more right. Somehow scriptures are depicted that way. They are unable to appreciate Krishna Saushilyata, means who Saushilyata they will appreciate. Somehow people highlight Duryodhana or Karna and find fault with Arjuna and Bhima and present Krishna as a political personality or some over naughty this and that. I mean, when people study scriptures and take shelter of authentic knowledge, then such confusions will not come. What's the problem in appreciating Krishna's Saushilyata? When we hear authentic message, when we hear gossip, then we will not be able to appreciate. So now the project of the devotees is to highlight and show people Krishna's Saushilyata, which is not obvious to them, right? So let's not think that is it because Ram did like this and Krishna did like this, therefore it is getting difficult for us to come educate people. No, people's mind has been corrupted, right? Because of hearing from wrong sources. Kukatha mati ghanihi. Because of hearing authentic scriptures from unauthentic sources, the mind has been little changed, right? So we need to undo it. We need to press Ctrl Z. It takes some time. It may take a few decades, right? So we need to remove the virus. I don't know. There are multiple ways in which we can answer this, but this one perspective I wish to highlight now. We would like to hear from His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. Any comments?
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the very beautiful class. And for me, the highlight was Krishna Savan Ocean and Radharani Savan Ocean qualities. Beautiful it was. Nectarian. And also was that verse from Chanakya that
Kashaya. Not Chanakya or Rupa Goswami.
Rupa Goswami. Padyavali. Beautiful it was. Very nectarian. So regarding the Saushilyata, one of the meaning of Saushilyata is you're a very big person willing to come down to the level of a little person and befriend. That's one of the meanings. A big person's willingness to befriend with somebody very socially very insignificant. Now if you see Vishnu does that how? He delivers Gajendra, or he delivers very, very people who are at a lower stature. That is Vishnu Saushilyata. Rama Saushilyata is he's ready to make friendship with Guha or Sugriva or Vibhishana and Hanuman and people like that. But Rama Saushilyata extends only up to the leaders of the communities. Like boatman's leader is Guha. And Rakshasa leader is Vibhishan. Vanara's leader is Sugriva. He cannot go below that. But Krishna makes friendship with peacocks also. And cows and calves and deers and
Sudama.
anybody. Yeah, that is the
Thank you. Any other question? Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very sweet.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
The description of this Saushalya is very madhurya. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for very nicely explaining the 7 oceans of Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani.
We have not explained, Prabhu. We only enumerated in 10 minutes.
When we hear such kind of pastimes or we hear such qualities, and all the scriptures are also telling about this thing that we should absorb our minds in Krishna and gradually develop that affection towards Krishna. But what happens, Prabhuji, for a sadhaka who is performing Vedi sadhana bhakti, it becomes very, very difficult sometimes to understand how to do or how to approach that. There are expectations that we'll have to do, like we are doing services and we also want to perform very good in our services. And apart from that, there is a tendency that there is achievement and all those things in performing services. But this aspect of trying to absorb ourselves in Krishna, sometimes it is left behind, or I feel that sometimes we are not able to figure out or we are not able to make out time to do that. And even if someone is specifically trying to do that, and he's compromising on service. So there is like one person will feel that I am not doing service also. So how do we balance this thing, like seva and absorption and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and how you do that?
I have not yet done it. Yesterday, I think Tellapur also, some devotee asked a somewhat similar question. Basically, these two are not two different things. When we are doing service, it's not different from absorption. Actually, the definition of sadhana bhakti is to engage our senses in Krishna service. Ataha Sri Krishna namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyaihi sevon mukhehi jihvadav swayameva spuratyada. So, engaging senses in Krishna's service, beginning with engaging tongue in chanting Krishna's names, ears in hearing Krishna's qualities, and also hands and legs in Krishna's various other physical services. So, this is non-different from absorption. This is absorption at sadhaka level, right? So, when we engage our senses in various services of Krishna, then eventually you'll come to a stage of bhava. The result of sadhana is bhava, right? Result of sadhana bhakti is bhava bhakti. During sadhana bhakti, the bhava is very little, very faint. But by doing sadhana bhakti, by following the regimen given by Prabhupada and our acharyas of various services and our japa and Srimad Bhagavatam and some physical services, this combination of all three will eventually bring us to the real absorption in an emotional bonding with Krishna. Right? These are not different. However, the distinction that we often perceive is when you are doing Sravanam and Kirtanam, when you are chanting and hearing, they are core elements of Krishna consciousness, foundational elements of Krishna consciousness. We think that these are absorption, which is correct, no doubt. But when we are doing some physical services, yes, we have to acknowledge that while doing physical services, there is a possibility of interacting with the material energy, interacting with material world, even materialistic people as a part of service. You are organizing a festival, or you are going and purchasing some sabji for the deities, or even flowers for the deities, right? So it's not like chanting. Going to the sabji market or flower market is not like chanting. So there is interaction with material energy. So the more we take these core elements of Shravanam Kirtanam seriously, so the charging that we get, the strength we get in doing these core elements of Shravanam and Kirtanam, sadhana elements, will protect us from distractions or allurements or confusions when we are dealing with the physical material world. while doing our services. So now, but ideally speaking, both are absorption. Madhavendra Puri, going all the way from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri to collect Chandan, physical activity, that is his absorption. Right? On the way he's chanting. Ma manusmara yudhyacha. Even Yuddha is also absorption. Right? For Arjuna. So, for someone who is mature enough in bhakti, there is no difference between material activity, spiritual activity, material life, spiritual life, physical service, and sitting and doing, hearing and chanting. So, it's all Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not just being conscious of Krishna in the mind. Krishna consciousness is engaging our senses, our words, our intelligence, our mind, everything in Krishna's service. We can't restrict Krishna consciousness only to mental activity. Okay, mind. Mind is one element. Engage body also in Krishna's service. Engage intelligence also in Krishna's service. Right? However, in the sadhaka stage, abhyasa-rupa bhakti becomes more practical and easy. But mananatmaka bhakti becomes little more difficult. And smaranatmaka bhakti becomes even more difficult. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. Mayyeva mana adhatsva is smaranatmaka bhakti. Bhakti on the level of mind. Highest. Chanting. Then mayi buddhim niveshaya. Engaging intelligence in Krishna's service, in planning for service or studying Shastra, understanding the philosophy. That is mananatmaka bhakti. Engaging buddhi in Krishna's service. That is a little one step down. And abhyasa-rupa bhakti means engaging your senses in Krishna's service. That's even one more step down. So for sadhaka, this abhyasa-rupa bhakti is more natural. And mananatmika bhakti is little difficult. Smaranatmika bhakti is even more difficult. But Prabhupada has given a regimen where we engage all three. Couple of hours chanting, smaranatmika bhakti in one sense. And maybe a couple of hours hearing and reading. So that is mananatmika bhakti, engaging your buddhi in Krishna's service. You're engaging mind in Krishna's service in chanting. And by studying Shastra and planning for service, engaging your intelligence in Krishna's service. Then rest of the day, engaging senses in Krishna's service. Prabhupada has given a regimen that includes all three. But for a sadhanaka, this becomes more easy because 8 hours of physical service becomes easier than 8 hours of chanting. People get exhausted, right? So let us not become prematurely transcendental by thinking that core Shravanam and Kirtanam is absorption and doing some practical services is not absorption. So we need balance in life. Especially that balance comes by following the regimen given by senior Vaishnavas and Acharyas and especially Prabhupada, the program that he has given. Right? So we need balance. We need to do all three. Right? Engaging our buddhi, man and body, senses in Krishna's service. And if there is any difficulty in it, we can always express our specific difficulty in front of a senior Vaishnava who is experienced Vaishnava, who is our well-wisher, and ask a specific advice. However, one can be absorbed in all, but let me give a very simple, down-to-earth practical tip. Whether it is service or sadhana, both are same, but let's distinguish just for argument's sake. Whether it is service or sadhana, when we concentrate, then we will not get exhausted. Problem is during sadhana time we think of seva. During seva time we think of sadhana. So much seva when we think like that. And while doing sadhana, we are thinking, what am I supposed to do today? To-do list. So when we allocate our mind space to both properly and do whatever we are doing with attention, with focus, so that will help us become more absorbed. So a devotee is supposed to be like a camel. You know camel? Whenever camel gets an opportunity, camel just drinks water. 1 liter, 2 liters, 10 liters, 20 liters, whatever. Camel drinks water. And next 1 or 2 days, no opportunity to drink water in the desert. Right? So then camel will survive because it already drank water. Similarly, there are some circumstances, say December marathon, you are very busy with seva, no time for absorption, or Janmashtami time, some festival time, some events are happening, you may be very busy with certain services. But whenever there is an opportunity, whenever you have some time, why should you restrict yourself to that 1 hour study time only? Aaj ka kota ho gaya. No, when you have time, you read for 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours. I did like that. before also, now also. So whenever you have opportunity to do core practices of Sravanam and Kirtanam, let's do it. Right? And whenever there is a service demand, let's do it. Be flexible. Flexibility, adaptability, malleability to the circumstances is also a part of sadhaka life. We can't be too rigid in our thought process or in our actions. Does it make sense? Radheshan Prabhu can give a more profound answer. I spoke like a child, I spoke whatever came to my mind. Prabhu, we can.
All that you said is very true, very beautiful. Everybody is very keen. Wherever we all travel, we see that they want to see the absorption, how the absorption begins and constant absorption. That is something very attractive. When we see your absorption, all of us are attracted to that. You know? So people wonder, when does that absorption start? You know. So when we research the scriptures say that just like in a nuclear reactor, you bombard a neutron, 1 and 0, and then the chain reaction starts, and it goes on and on indefinitely. Similarly, when does the absorption of a devotee start? When a devotee likes Krishna. And the like is not in the intelligence. The like is in the mind. That is why Krishna says manmana. He doesn't say, use reason and understand I am the supreme, therefore you surrender. That type of surrender is not very effective. It is very superficial. It is based on logic, reason, because Krishna says so he has the key to Goloka. Better I salute him and then take the key, and enter the Goloka and I can go and relax. That kind of bhakti doesn't work. On the other hand, when I like Krishna, for example, if a boy loves a girl, nobody needs to tell the boy how to remember her. Because you have a liking. So how does that liking start? Satam prasangan, mama virya samvido, bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kata. Hrit means the chitta. So man and chitta, the difference is, chitta is subconscious mind. And the man is, it has to go to chitta. In the chitta, if I am remembering Krishna, nobody can stop my remembrance. And that comes only by Mahat Kripa. If some great Vaishnava feels pity for me, he feels sympathy for me, even in my absence, he remembers me in his heart. Poor guy. He's so much trying to help me, serve me. So like Prabhupada felt about George Harrison. So if a great soul thinks about us favorably, immediately that absorption is set rolling.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada. Jai.